And we're live here on Facebook. We'd also like to welcome you to those listening on podcasts in podcast land, and also welcome to all those on YouTube. Hello. Man, lots to talk about today. It is 24/7 sports for the next 2 weeks. Super exciting, and yeah, we're gonna get to that in just a minute. But first, Rich, how was your birthday week? And happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. It was nice. We got a chance to celebrate with both sides of the family, eating at the beer stube and the Tangled Wood.
Ooh, those are both delicious.
Yeah, on Sunday and Monday, and also took the day off to kind of reorganize the garage a little bit better.
Nice. Well, that's
How was
exciting.
your week, Mike?
It's been good. Work has been extremely busy. Ended up having some guys call last minute to do a motorcycle ride yesterday, so that was fun. And then today we have another shout out, a personal shout out at the end of the show that I got to do.
Nice.
So.
And of course, we both recovered from going out in the heat and mowing the lawn. So
I ended up not having to, my yard has not gotten enough water to need mowed this week, so I'm okay. We didn't end up mowing, but
okay.
And you can hear my baby yelling in the background. I'm sorry.
No.
But that happens once in a while. Babies yell.
All right. So she's probably telling us that's probably a good warning that we should keep the show moving.
That's true.
So
this week we're gonna talk Olympics. I'm so excited.
Yeah, talk a little bit Olympics, baseball.
Yep.
No big trades to talk about yet, but I'm sure our team, the Cubs, are going to look a lot different come next Saturday when we go on the air again.
Yep.
As well as some other baseball news related to a Yankees fan, the Blue Jays, and the Indians.
Yeah.
What else is on the outline, Mike?
We also got the NASCAR Corner presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. And finally, we got our quick hits. All that and more. But first, Rich, what's it time to do?
Is it time to roll the intro?
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.
And we're back. Okay, folks. So, as we do every week, before we get into our topics, we have to talk about our poll question. Last week's poll question was Space Jam, A New Legacy. Yay or nay? Rich, how'd the people vote?
I believe they voted nay, Mike, but I don't have the numbers up in front of me. We do have some comments to share on that post, though.
Yes. So, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 4-1 no. The lone vote yes is one of our big topics or comments. First, do you want to do the?
You have them both up there, so I'll let you share them, Mike.
So, Michael Sable stated. Our vote was our one yes vote. He said, "Not as good as the original. We watched both back to back. Boys like the first one. He's got two boys that are, I want to say, like 8 and 10 or something like that. And so, right at the perfect age for that show. And the boys like the first one better. And then your brother-in-law, friend of the show." Josh Couture, he stated, won't support any project LeBron is a part of. MJ is the GOAT. Well, he brings up a good point. Rich, how did you vote? Obviously, we only had one yes vote, and that wasn't either of us. So that means you voted no.
I did vote no. I think I would have been open to seeing the movie if the drive-in was pairing it with another movie on the back end that I wanted to see.
What were they pairing it
So,
with?
they paired it, I think, I don't remember. It was a movie neither Amy or I were interested in seeing. We were hoping that it would have been Space Jam: A New Legacy and the Fast Saga, the last, the newest Fast and the Furious movie, but that's not what they paired it with. Or I would have liked to have seen a Space Jam and Space Jam: A New Legacy double feature,
I
but that didn't happen either.
personally would have preferred to see Space Jam and Black Widow. Hopefully, the wife and I are going to get to see Black Widow tonight.
That would have been another good pairing,
Yeah.
a good pairing for it. But I mean, I voted no. I just think that certain movies don't need a remake or a refresh or a sequel, and I think Space Jam was one of them. But I think another thing that would have been hard to judge this movie fairly is that this movie wasn't made for the movie wasn't made for our age group, Mike, in their 30s. This
Yeah.
was made to appeal to a child audience, just like the first one was.
Yeah, there is some accuracy to that, but here's my problem. Your brother
Okay.
kind of touched on it. LeBron's trying to separate himself out and make a case for him to be the GOAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he trying to do everything that Michael did? If you're gonna be the GOAT, don't you have to kind of forge your own path? Don't you have to do something? Like, they're never gonna do a movie like LeBron, but they had like Mike, which was about a kid that got Michael Jordan's old shoes and had magic in it and could jump 800 feet high or whatever. Lil Bow Wow was in it. Directly based off the I want to be like Mike from the Nike ads, but whatever. Like, why is LeBron trying to do everything that Michael did when he's trying to prove that he's better than Michael? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Rich, if you wanted to prove to the world that you're better than, I don't know, that you're better than Michael Phelps in swimming, are you going to do things the same way Michael Phelps did, or are you going to do it better and in a way that and not copycat movies and stuff like that? Like, that's all he's doing. He's just copycatting movies. What? Yeah. What's that going to accomplish? If I wanted to copycat a movie, what? There are plenty of other movies that he could have done. Why not do a remake of Teen Wolf?
To where he somehow is
something like that. I don't know. Okay. Why not make a remake of something that's similar but different all at the same time?
And this movie was similar but different. I mean, it wasn't.
But the concept is basically the same.
Was the same, yeah.
Right?
The concept was the same, yeah.
Like, it's a superstar playing basketball with the Looney Tunes to save the world in some way, shape, or form. Nobody knows really. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see. No, I genuinely do want to see it. When I can watch it for free, I will definitely watch it. If I can't watch it for free, I might Redbox it.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. I would watch it if it were free, if I had somebody's HBO Max account or number, or wait for it to come on Netflix or Netflix or Amazon Prime, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to pay the movie theater, not even the matinee price, to see this movie.
Yeah,
see this remake.
I don't know that I would either. So, whatever.
Let's look at this here. So the original, the Monster Squad in the original movie,
yep.
Sean Bradley, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Muggsy Bogues, and this Goon Squad in the new movie, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, think Dana Taurasi, one of the Agumake sisters, and I think that was it. I don't think there was a sixth one. Who would win in that game? Who would win in that matchup? Goon Squad or or the Monster Squad?
I mean the Monstars. Actually, I don't know. I think that's actually a better matchup than LeBron, because LeBron's lost to most of the people that he's playing against in the finals, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's lost to he's lost to Klay Thompson.
Who did MJ lose to? Who did MJ lose to in the finals that he played against in the Monstars?
No, he beat all those guys.
Oh yeah, wait, he beat all those guys, but LeBron lost to the guys that he's playing.
But well, he probably think he's only lost to Klay Thompson.
He's lost to Anthony Davis.
No, he needed Anthony Davis to get one of his championships.
I thought Anthony was on the Golden State Warriors.
No. Anthony Davis started with the Pelicans until LeBron James and his agent forced a trade to the Lakers.
That's right. Yeah. So Anthony Davis is one he didn't, but now he's on a team.
But I think he beat everybody else.
So the Goon Squad or whatever steals Anthony Davis's powers. Why wouldn't they have stolen LeBron's powers? Did he retire at some point to play baseball? So nobody thought, oh. Then he obviously isn't the greatest player on his team, because they only want to steal the powers of the greatest players on the team at any moment, right? I mean, isn't that kind of how it works?
Yeah, I guess so.
So LeBron's actually saying himself that he's not the greatest player of all time, because he's currently playing basketball, and they didn't steal his powers. Is that? I mean, the reason they didn't steal MJ's powers is because he retired to play baseball. True story.
Yeah.
He retired to play baseball. LeBron, why wouldn't they have stolen his powers?
Or take away his powers when he went into like this server verse or whatever it is.
Like, this doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
The
movie isn't supposed to make sense, Mike. You gotta dumb it down to how can this does it make sense in a child's mind?
But you're proving
not a 30-year-old.
But LeBron's proving to the world that he's not the greatest. Because if they would have if they would have been stealing powers of the greatest basketball players of the time, and they didn't steal LeBron's, either LeBron has to be retired playing baseball, retired playing basketball, which I think he could do basketball. That'd be interesting. But why wouldn't he have been a victim to lose his powers?
I don't know. I think in this one it wasn't that those Goon Squad players lost their powers. I believe they were digitally created like avatars that played in this game, and they had the skill set of those players.
Well, why wouldn't, if you're doing that, why wouldn't you use LeBron?
I don't know.
If LeBron is the greatest player of all time, as he claims?
I don't know. I don't know.
Man, I have no... at that point, if you're digitally making people, wouldn't it have made sense to digitally make Michael Jordan? And then destroy LeBron and show LeBron how he's nothing?
Yeah, I don't know. There's been some good memes that have come out about, like, in a timeout, like, you can even see the difference in the Toons' faces. They know they're not.
Yeah.
They're, like, them having, like, beer, like, and I think the favorite one I found was MJ went 22 from 22 from the field in Space Jam. LeBron James went 5 for 6 from the field. I don't know.
Well, either way, it'll be. My kid will watch Space Jam on our Plex server, and I'm not talking about a new legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So this week's poll question, Mike, to lead into our next topic, will be over under 44.5 Olympic gold medals for Team USA. Those numbers were not set by us randomly. Those are the numbers that were set by the William Hill Sportsbook. So that poll is live. Make sure to go up and vote on it. So, Mike, that leads us into the Olympics.
Yes! The Olympics! I'm a sports nerd. I love the Olympics. I love all of the sports in the Olympics. I mean, how can you not be excited to watch water polo?
Mm-hmm. I can get with water polo.
Archery? Shooting? Taekwondo? Like, the amount of sports that they have is just super exciting. And the amount of coverage that it gets.
Exactly. I think when I was watching the opening ceremonies, one of the segments was going through all of the sports. And it came out that I think they had like 50 sports this year. And like the ones that I had never heard of or thought of, like the trampoline gymnastics.
Yep.
Sounded interesting. And but the one that I really got into during the 16 Olympics was rugby.
I like rugby.
I really liked watching the Olympic rugby. And for me, I mean, I always like what's on the TV. So, I mean, so that means we'll probably be watching a lot of women's gymnastics and probably the swimming events.
Yeah.
Probably the track and field as well.
Yep. The 100-meter dash is always going to be fun. The world's fastest man competition, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I'm excited about I like archery. Me and the wife watched water polo earlier. Watched the U.S. women's play Japan. We didn't get through it. I know how it ends because I kind of caught it at the tail end of the actual match last night, in the middle of the night while I was not sleeping. But all sorts, like, it is super exciting to see what's going on in sport. Like, part of me is sad that a lot of these sports don't get covered by the Olympics, or don't get covered the other 4 years that it's not an Olympic year for summer/winter, like in the off years. I mean the track and field gets covered every year. The national championships always get covered for the NCAA. Swimming gets some coverage, but water polo doesn't. Field hockey, archery's great. You know, I personally am a bigger like baseball. Probably won't watch. Basketball, probably. Actually, did you know that they're doing a 3-on-3?
I did hear that. I did see that 3-on-3 basketball. That could be fun to watch.
That I would watch over the NBA stuff, or the NBA players playing each other in that. Women's soccer and men's soccer. You're on board for that at all?
Probably not. I might watch it. All depends on what is on. So that is one good thing about the Sling package that that I piggyback off of you, having access to USA and NBCSN and the Olympic Channel, as well as the main hub, NBC.
Yep.
So I think I watched the US-Canada softball game.
Ooh.
And yeah, the US-Canada softball game. We
beach
watched
volleyball?
No, not beach volleyball. It was softball. We watched a little bit of the road cycling event after the Olympics, after the opening ceremonies. And I can't think of the other thing we watched so far.
I still haven't seen the opening ceremonies.
My wife has on tennis.
Yeah, I could see it in the background. But I have not personally seen it yet, so the opening ceremonies, were they good?
They were different. I think we came in on maybe in the middle of it when they were doing the Parade of Nations. So that was interesting to see. I did not know that there was a 12-year-old competing in the Olympics this year. A 12-year-old in table tennis.
Ooh, that's okay. So it's one that I love. I love table tennis and badminton. Two sports that you sit around and you think, oh, let's get drunk and play. Like you get drunk in college and you play it in the dorms downstairs, and you're a little buzzed and all that, right? That's table tennis,
Mhm.
right? Or badminton, you go out and you play in high school because it doesn't take that much effort. But then you watch the Olympic table tennis and badminton, and it's like, what? These guys
Yeah.
are nuts.
How old do you think the oldest Olympian is?
Well, bridge is not a discipline this year. It has been in the past, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Ballroom dancing is not a discipline. I would guess in archery or shooting, you might have somebody in their 50s.
There is actually a 66-year-old woman competing in the equestrian.
That was one I thought about too. I thought about horse riding could be something like that. I figured your archery and your shooting are ones.
I think archery and shooting do have a couple of other people in their 60s.
Yeah, I feel like I could learn. I mean, I'm sure there's guys up here who hunt and do stuff like that. They could probably do it in their 50s and 60s and probably compete fairly decently. In either one of those disciplines. So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. There's a modern pentathlon. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think I did see that.
It involves horse riding, shooting, swimming, and let me bring it up. Modern pentathlon. What is the modern pentathlon, people? It is fencing, freestyle swimming, equestrian show jumping, pistol shooting, and running.
Interesting. So yeah, lots of cool things. Make sure to check it out on the NBC family of networks throughout the next 2 weeks. We'll find a way. We'll find ways.
If you have a Roku, sign into the NBC Sports app. You can watch replays. You kind of can basically watch what you want to watch that involves the Olympics. Like, it is by far and away the best thing out there. It's my biggest recommendation for all of it. So, just a thought.
All right, we'll find ways to incorporate the Olympics into the show until the closing ceremonies. But kind of pre-Olympics, the big story that come out of Tokyo, other than the protests of people not wanting the Olympics to be held in Tokyo itself, was that there's cardboard beds in the Olympic village rooms.
So, you know what? These are not uncommon. I've seen them before. Cardboard is strong. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I mean the story that came out of it was that that they did cardboard boxes to discourage sexual relations within the village because they don't want that going on this year due to COVID. But there have been various TikTok videos I think that have been posted by athletes jumping up and down on the beds or multiple ones jumping on the beds to prove it's not going to collapse.
Now let's get it on. Like Donkey Kong.
I guess, but they defended the Olympic Federation, I think, in Tokyo, I think, did say that they wanted to have cardboard beds, so as a way to be carbon neutral, I think it is, because they're made of recyclable material, so to make it easier, make it easier cleanup, and they don't have all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
After the 2 weeks is up.
Totally makes sense to me, and if athletes want to have, I mean. That is one of the biggest things that people don't talk about, that athletes having sex at the Olympics is a huge thing. It's like a big sex fest going on with lots of people doing things that, married and unmarried, doing their thing as often as they want. One of my favorite things, last night I watched a little bit of archery.
Okay.
And I believe it was one of the girls from the Netherlands actually had tattooed on her forearm the Olympic rings. And I'm like, hell yeah. If I ever made it to the Olympics, you know what I'm doing? I'm getting a tattoo that says that I've been in the Olympics. Like
putting the years underneath that you made the teams.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll put the Olympic rings on it. I'll get the Olympic rings on my arm, and then underneath put the start here and put the year. And if I make multiple, I do that. Why not? Especially if I'm in a sport like archery, where most people don't realize that you're in it. Like, do you know any of the Americans that are in archery in the U.S. For the U.S.?
No.
Okay. Okay. Are you gonna watch baseball, the Olympic baseball?
If it's on, maybe, but I don't think I would go out of my way to watch it on demand or just watch it in general.
So what is the sport? So you said rugby is your big sport. I think
rugby
mine would
is
be
the one that I would go out of my way to watch.
Mine's gonna be water polo, probably. Rugby in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on the Olympic topic before we head into baseball? Actually,
Ooh, are we getting Mike's random topic out of the day?
no, I'm gonna state China currently leads the medal count with 4.
Mm-hmm.
Italy has 2. Japan has 2. South Korea has 3. The United States has yet to win a medal.
It's still early.
That's true.
All right. So let's go over to baseball, Mike. Another so-so week for the Cubs, 3-4.
Yeah.
From show to show. Because they lost those games to the Cardinals, they're now in 4th place in the division, 8.5 back, with an overall record of 48-50.
Okay. Who wants what? Come get them. We're looking to build for the future. We're going to keep maybe 1 or 2 of these guys. Everybody else is on the block. And even those guys that I think are untradeable, I'll put them on the block.
Yeah,
you give me a good enough haul for anybody on my team, on the Cubs right now, I'm going to take it. Like, honestly, you say Javi Baez for two like AAA prospects that are ready to come up to the majors next year, and a decent middle reliever, I'm game. You got to stock up. Everybody's on the block.
I totally agree.
They are not playing in a way right now that makes me feel like any of them deserve to stay on the team even. Like, who on the team deserves to be doing something right now? Who's playing at a level that makes you want to keep them? I hate saying it because I'm like, you know that I love most of these guys, but who's playing at a level that deserves them to be kept, and who's playing at a level that says I cannot be traded?
Right now, nobody.
You guys got to prove it to me before. Like, honestly, I think Javi is the best middle infielder in the game, but he's not even playing at a level that makes me want to fight for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting home runs. He leads shortstops in home runs, but if it seems like if he's not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, he's striking out or hitting atom balls right at people.
Yeah.
Rizzo's slumping at the wrong time. KB seemed to be having KB and kind of Rizzo are all kind of coming up with nagging injuries. I mean, if anything, the Cubs do have what every contender needs this time of year, which is good relievers. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the guys that have been dominating our bullpen all year, guys like Tepera, Andrew Chafin, Craig Kimbrell, all traded by the end of the week.
Yep.
And I mean, with even though he has 2 years of control, it wouldn't surprise me if Contreras is also traded because he seems to be rocking the boat a little bit.
Yeah.
When before the All-Star break, he called out his teammates, saying that I don't think you guys are playing hard enough. And the manager came out and said you shouldn't have done that.
I disagree with Grandpa Ross's take on that.
Oh yeah.
I totally disagree. If your player is going to call out your guy, first of all, for Wilson to call out guys publicly, you know what he's doing in that dugout? He's yelling at these guys saying, what the hey howdy hey. He's probably not using that nice of language, but what the hey howdy hey. Why aren't you guys doing something? He is out there every day saying, come on, we got to do better. By the way, feel good story of the week. Robinson Gonzalez, I think is what they were called. Robinson David Gonzalez, or Chirinos Gonzalez.
Okay.
Was catcher for the Cubs yesterday. Hit two home.
Robinson Chirinos.
Chirinos, yeah, that's right. Hit 2 home runs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But where did he start his career?
In the Cubs minor leagues.
And what was his dream from being a kid?
I think that he did say it was to be a Chicago Cub.
To be a major league Cub. For getting to fulfill his dream this week, and looking good doing it. Looking like a solid backup.
Yeah. It only took, 3 months? 3 months to finally get a backup catcher?
Yeah. But that's the feel good. But again, that's the brightest note this week for the Cubs, I would say. Yeah, we had 3 wins. But
they come from behind win in the 6-run ninth inning win against the Cardinals. But I think a lot of that you could easily chalk that up to the Cardinals blowing it by walking so many people.
Yeah, it's
tough. At least with the team being 8.5 back, 4th in the division, and the record the way they are, at least they're in a position that they can justify saying, it's time to sell them off. If this team were maybe 2.5 back, and had a winning record, then you would have had that tough decision. All right, do we want to add to this team to see if we can make a run, or because if they had traded off everybody and maybe only been 2.5 games back, then there would have been a lot of public outcry about, oh, you're waving the right flag. Why don't you believe in these guys?
They have they proved it?
Yeah. Why are you treating the guys that brought you your first World Series in 101 years? This is how you treat them? But no. Yeah. I'm okay with whoever they choose to trade or hold on to at this point.
The team has. I think it was your brother it was Adam Heath last week. Said we read the statement. The team's making it easy.
Like the Phillies.
Well, the team's making it easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing in a way that making these decisions easy. Time to start selling. Let them go.
Yeah.
I have no. I'm not happy about it, but even more so, I'm not upset that they're gonna sell everybody off.
Yeah, I mean, even the thing is, this team's probably going to look different by the time we come on to air on Friday.
I hope
Saturday. So. And this team's probably going to look a lot different when the 22 season starts.
Yeah.
Because even if they, for some strange reason, decide that they don't get an offer to their liking and hang on to everybody, these guys aren't going to be back with not everybody that's on the team this year is going to be back next year because so many people are on expiring contracts.
Yeah.
I think they said they've only got $42 million in contract commitments going into the 22 season.
Yeah. It means that we have money to play with. We just have a lot of spots we got to fill with it.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, or we're going to look like a rookie ball team next year.
Paying our right fielder $25 million to hit 7th in the lineup.
Yeah, that's bad. but the nice thing's going to be, I mean, maybe next year we're already writing this year off, right?
Yeah.
So
maybe have a maybe have another team, maybe have the makings of a team that's probably going to fight with the Pirates to not finish last place.
Yeah.
And then apply that money in 23.
Yeah. Why not? Bring up a lot of your AAA guys, a lot of your guys that are right on the cusp of being ready. And I also wonder, here's a question, provocative question of the week.
Okay.
Is the Cubs AAA team, do they have better talent than they normally would because the guys that are playing in the majors are such names that even when they're playing down, they get the benefit of the doubt? Are we stifling bringing guys up because, well, you can't put Rizzo in Iowa. You can't drop Bryant down. And so we're stifling these guys' career, these guys in the minors' careers, because we don't have we have these names that we have to keep on the lineup.
I don't think it's to that point. I mean, you could make a case of, do we have guys that could hit better than the current guys that we have, the kind of like the fringe guys that are the platoon guys, the guys like Ian Happ? Or did we need to sign somebody like Jock Peterson when we could have just had Patrick Wisdom playing all year?
Yeah.
Instead of, or
well, I think the Patrick Wisdom thing is going to be another Chris Bryant arbitration thing.
Yeah. Or why are we still playing, other than the money? Why is Jason Hayward still on the team?
Yeah, I mean, do we have guys that are in the majors that are playing at a level that they don't deserve to be in the majors, or that we should have traded off by now and let some of these prospects come up, but we can't because, you can't touch the golden children.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever the. I don't think that's the case. I think that comes just down to, I mean, I haven't followed the Iowa Cubs too late. Most of the Cubs prospects that get talked about right now are pitchers, or they're down in Double-A, to where they're going to need some time in Triple-A. Guys like probably Brennan Davis and Miguel Amaya.
Yeah,
those guys haven't been up to Triple-A yet,
and that's fine. I wonder if we're stifling some of our better prospects because we have guys like Bryant and Rizzo and Hayward and Happ and I think Happ could probably do pretty well. We don't have enough spaces to put him in the lineup every day. Like, I
don't think his production is warranted him being in the lineup every day.
No, but I think
finding that niche where we can put him in a position.
Yeah,
to succeed.
But so there's that fine line between, do you need to being in the lineup every day helps you get better, and you need to develop to get into the lineup each day. Does that make sense? So I think that's where Happ kind of lives right now.
He needs the playing time, but his production doesn't warrant him playing every day.
Right. But if he got the playing time, I think he would develop into a better player than some of the guys that get to play every day.
Yeah, and I think that's what the rest of the year could be.
Oh yeah, I hope so. Especially with guys like Happ, who we still have Happ for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Powers, I'm going to say the nice thing it depends on which side of the coin you're on. But the nice thing is, he hasn't played enough this year to count as a year of service on his rookie contract. He didn't come in early enough.
I think that's days in the major leagues.
Right, but
it's not based on how many games you start. It's how many days you're on the
Right.
major league roster.
Right, but he hasn't been on the roster enough to.
He's been with the team all year. He hasn't been down in the minors at all this year.
I thought he started the year in the minors.
Nope. Nico Horner did.
Okay.
They put Nico Horner in AAA.
I thought Powers was too.
Nope, Hap wasn't.
No, not Hap. Powers.
Powers. Oh,
Yeah,
Patrick Wisdom.
Wisdom. Sorry,
I think
Wisdom.
Patrick Wisdom was like a guy that we picked up off of the waiver wire. He's been around the league for a while. He's never been able to catch on with the team.
Okay, I don't remember who I'm thinking of. I'm sorry.
Don't matter. It's okay.
But I think there's guys that I think we'll be able to develop, and especially as we hit that trade deadline, as we see guys like Bryant or Rizzo or Contreras.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Contreras calling out the guys is the right move, and I think them doing, like, him being as adamant about it is the right stuff, and it's what I want to see. So good on him. But it sounds like the front office isn't happy, or that his manager's not happy with him for doing so. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So in other baseball news, did you see what happened with a Yankees fan?
I did not.
All right, so a Yankee fan, so Red Sox left fielder Alex Verdugo goes and tosses a baseball up to a young Red Sox fan at Yankee Stadium. Good story. Yankee fan intercepts it, throws the ball right back at Verdugo, hits him in the back.
Okay.
Guy is banned from attending Major League Baseball at any ballpark, not just Yankee Stadium.
I'm okay with the ban, but again, like we've said with the NBA, how are they going to prove this? The guys with those scanners, it doesn't come up with a picture. Like, they don't scan your ID. He can't buy a ticket on the primary market anymore. That's basically all it means. Under his name. Come on now.
Yeah.
How do you prove?
I have seen that. I mean, how many times have you gone to? I mean, I think we've been to other games where the Cubs have been the road team and the home team hits a home run. A Cubs fan catches it, throws it back on, and you see the usher walking down the aisle. Hey, don't do that again. Please don't do that. We don't do that here. But I don't think I've ever seen it to where a fan has ever purposely threw the ball at a player. I mean, maybe he was tossing it back because, hey, you don't need to be tossing those souvenirs up here. So maybe it was an accident that he got hit, but with it being a Yankees Red Sox thing, I think he did mean to hit the player.
But here's the thing. If he is able to hit a player with enough force to make a deal out of it, and he's in the stands, even if he's in the first 5 rows, that's pretty decent accuracy. Why doesn't somebody sign him? Like,
I don't know. That's how Henry Rodengartner got his major league contract. But that's also Hollywood. All right, so the Buffalo Blue Jays are no more. The Blue Jays get to return to Toronto and play their first home game in the Rogers Center when they return on July 30th. We're on the road trip, a road trip.
That's exciting for them. Good for them. I'm glad to see Canada start opening up a little bit. It's going to be interesting because they are still very strict about who can enter the country and how. So that's going to be an interesting. Like, do you have to be vaccinated to play up there? I don't know their rules. I'm guessing.
I don't either.
I'm guessing they're not going to have attendance.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure with just on the team's level, it'll be very similar to how they did with the Stanley Cup Finals, to where the teams flew in on a charter jet, got on a plane, got on their bus, and they were only allowed to go between the hotel, the arena, and the airport. So, and there is a hotel in the Rogers Center, so maybe all the players will be staying right there at the Rogers Center as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to see them back at home. It's always good to have Toronto games in Toronto, but it always makes me wonder. And then Cleveland has a new name.
Yeah, they announced that yesterday. The new name is the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay. Is there a history that I don't know about?
Not really. They have noticed that, I guess, in the bridge that connects downtown Cleveland with the rest of Cleveland, there are guardians. They call them the traffic guardians that are like in the middle of the bridge, I guess.
I thought, I had always heard that they were talking about going to the old Negro League team name. They talked about doing something. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I was hoping for the Cleveland Spiders, one of the
I heard that one too.
Nicknames of the Indians before they became the Indians.
I wonder if they. This gets into an odd paradox that is our culture. Could they not use the Negro League team name because it's I don't know. I thought they were going to go with the old Negro League team, which was for me the one that I liked the most, but
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be it looks to be a seamless transition. They're using pretty much the same script.
Yep.
The same colors. You're still going to see the block C as their primary logo on the hats and sleeves.
Yep.
So,
are we gonna? So, is Kansas City next?
Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chicago Blackhawks. We already know that the Washington football team is going to get a formal new nickname in 22, I think it is. They're going to play one more year as the football team.
Yep.
And then they're getting a new nickname. Could the Blackhawks be next?
Could the Blackhawks? The Chiefs. I'm trying to think. The Braves.
Yeah.
Or the Braves theoretically could keep the Braves, but they'd have to just not.
They'd have to lose the tomahawk.
The tomahawk and the mascot stuff.
No, the mascot's just like this goofy, like Muppet thing.
Okay.
It's not an Indian anymore.
Okay.
It's not Chief Knock-a-Homer.
Okay, well, then in that case, is that how they do it? They say we're the Braves, saying that we're brave, not we're the brave Indians? I don't know.
I don't know.
And in all of this, the Seminoles.
They have the okay of the Seminole tribe to keep their nickname.
So did the Illini for the Fighting Illini, which is why they still get to call themselves the Fighting Illini. They just can't use the Chief Illinois dance. It's one of those things where what is honoring and what is not honoring. I think Indians kind of make sense to me. Redskins and Indians make sense. Technically, Native Americans were only called Indians because we thought we found India. Like they were hoping to find India. They didn't realize that they were going to hit the Americas first. So that's why they called them Indians. So I suppose that one's kind of understandable. The Redskins, that one, I don't know how that lasted as long as it did, but
tradition,
I suppose. Stubborn ownership.
I think the Guardians nickname, I think it'll take a couple years to catch on.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's going to be happy when these teams do get nicknamed. You're always going to have the diehard fans that are going to be they're probably going to be crying there. Why are you bowing down to the minority and changing the name? You've had this name for so long. What's wrong with it?
Yep.
But eventually you'll get used to it. And if you're a true fan of the team name changing isn't going to change whether you root for them or not.
I guess here's a question. Is there a way to honor Native Americans with a name that doesn't also belittle them a little bit? Like, because that's kind of the argument that Indians belittles, because they're not Indians, they're Native Americans, or they're first world peoples or whatever. That I don't remember what the exact terminology is. I apologize. I'm not trying to make fun of or make light of it, but legitimately, is there a way to do it that does honor Native Americans and allows them to still use something similar? And maybe Braves is one of the ways to do it. Maybe Chiefs is one of the ways to do it. It's hard for me because part of me wants to say, well, let's honor the Native Americans, but you also don't want to do it in a way that makes fun of them. And that's a line that I don't know how to make that line work. I don't have the answers.
Exactly, and that's where the Indians were coming in.
Yeah.
That's why the Chief Wahoo character has changed over the years to be more of the cartoon logo that they used to have is now a thing of the past, and it's even going to be even more mothballed when changing over to the Guardians. Yeah.
And then finally, Low A Ball is testing the automated catcher signals.
Yeah, I just saw this the other day. Supposedly, the catcher, similar to his wristband, will have like a device where he can press a number and a number or a location to indicate where he wants the ball thrown. And I guess this technology will only be with the catcher and the pitcher.
Okay.
And they're claiming that this device is hack-proof, which we all know that there's going to be a way to get this to hack it to where you know what's coming.
Oh, I love when people make the statement, it's hack-proof. That means somebody hasn't tried hard enough. Because again, just like in Low A Ball, there's not enough money going around to make a problem with it. But when you get to the majors, I guarantee you it's going to be hackable. Okay.
Yeah, but supposedly only if a batter is found to be wearing this system, they're going to be ejected. Only the active catcher and no other players or coaches are allowed to use the transmitter. A backup transmitter is provided, but it must remain in the carrying case during games. And if players or coaches need to confer because of an issue with the device, they can notify the umpires and not be charged with a mound visit.
Okay.
So supposedly the Low A California League is going to be trying this technology, and the first game that it will be active will be August 3rd.
New technology. Let's see how it works. Them saying it's not hackable is stupid, but whatever. Anything else before I ask you a question that we ask every week?
Nope.
Rich, what do you see coming up?
Is it a left turn?
Yep. And what's after that, Rich?
Probably another left one.
Yep, because we're heading into the NASCAR Corner, presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. And check them out on eBay for all your memorabilia needs. Okay, first we hit up last week's race, which is really all we really have to talk about because we don't have a race this week. But the NASCAR shout-out goes to Solomon with a 180 win, followed by you, Rich, at 176. I actually had a pretty decent week with 171, and then Tony at 137, bringing up the rear. I don't think that changes any of the overall standings, as you still have a commanding lead. Tony's, doing all right still, But that race between Tony and Solomon has heated up quite a bit. And, I'm still way behind. So, there you go. Rich, who won last week?
It was a surprise winner, Eric Armarola.
Yep.
Won the Foxwoods Casino and Resort 301 out in Loudon.
Yep.
Your pick of Chase Elliott, Mike, came in 18th. My pick of Denny Hamlin came in 10th, which means I increased my lead to 14-11.
Yep. And then NASCAR has a break until August 8th. That's a long break for them.
Yeah, they must be taking a break due to the Olympics. I mean, after all, the network that's carrying the races right now does have a lot of coverage time committed to the Olympics.
Yep, that's probably what it is. The next race is August 8th for Watkins Glen. So we may not even have a NASCAR corner next week, which is going to be odd. But one last quick hit for it. Did you see that Kyle Busch got in trouble with the law?
No.
He was on vacation and he got in trouble with the cops ended up showing up, and then he had a mock press conference with his friends that he was on vacation in Mexico with. So you can check that story out. I think the video's on Twitter and on Instagram or something like that. So if you want to look it up, there's plenty of places you can look it up. And finally, Rich, you have some NASCAR moves that are happening off the track. You want to fill us in on what's happening?
Yeah, Brad Keselowski officially moves to Roush Fenway Racing to be a driver and part owner role. He's going to take over the number 6 car, which is currently being piloted by Ryan Newman.
Yeah, sad for Ryan Newman. But Ryan Newman, being the guy that he is, will probably find a place to land. One of the smartest people in NASCAR, so I'm sure he'll find something to do next year. So
they are saying that maybe he'll do a part-time ride with Roush Fenway, maybe doing the super speedways and the bigger races.
Yep.
He's one of NASCAR's veteran drivers. So.
Yeah. So, anything else on the NASCAR corner presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated?
Not really. Since we really don't have a race next week, we'll probably take a look at the NASCAR playoff standings.
Yeah, that'll be a good.
See who's on the outside looking in, because with guys like Amarillo and Kurt Busch winning races the last 2 weeks, that kind of shook up the standings.
Yeah.
A little bit. So we'll see. We'll check in on that next week. So let's go ahead and go to our quick hits, Mike. So the Bucks win the NBA Finals 4-2 over the Suns.
It's a good thing we didn't make that one a lunch bet.
I know, it kind of is. But, nicely done, because you said before the postseason started that the Bucks would win the championship.
I did. The Bucks are a good team, so good job, Bucks.
Do you think Giannis's statements of, I could have gone to somewhere else and been on a super team, but I chose to stay home and do it the hard way, is that a valid statement, or do you think that kind of maybe is a backhanded?
I think it's a backhanded.
Does that kind of
attack at everybody else in the league who thinks that you? Okay. But I think it's an accurate statement.
His teammates at all?
No.
Okay.
No, because his teammates. He said, "I worked with these guys." Yeah, he scored 50 points in the finals. By the way, only the third player ever to do that. How about that? How about the fact that he won a championship before the age that Michael Jordan or LeBron James won a championship? How about that? I'm good on him. He deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, I was pulling for Chris Paul to finally get that ring, but but the one thing I did, I was happy
either of those teams won.
Yeah, good on Giannis as well. I think he also invited the Suns coach to come into the locker room so he could offer congratulations to the team as well.
Good.
That's something you don't see in these days anymore.
Yeah, I'm happy for all of that. Those all make me happy. So, okay, British Open was won by Colin Morikawa. So, 8th win in the PGA and his second major. before 25.
All right. How did Lucas Glover do? The guy that won the John Deere Classic. Did he place at all?
I don't know. I'm
Oh.
scrolling through. Don't see anything about him.
Oh, okay. Must not have made the cut.
Leaderboard. Sorry, folks. This is great television, isn't it? The Open Championship.
I'm sorry. I thought the link that I gave you gave us the.
I got to it pretty quick. That was a news article about who won and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
What was the guy's name?
Lucas Glover.
Scrolling. Give us the next topic while I look.
Texas and Oklahoma could be moving from Big 12 over to the SEC Conference.
No,
So
I mean,
you'd
it makes
have-
sense.
You'd have the SEC be 16 teams.
Yep.
So, I mean,
He did
I
not
mean,
make the cut. Lucas Glover was 5 over after the second round, did not make the cut.
okay. This move is kind of puzzling for me, I think. I mean, Texas and Oklahoma are struggling to win games in their own conference, and yet they want to move to a harder one.
Yeah, it also what makes you wonder is the Big 12 dying. I mean, they've lost most of their big schools, right?
Yeah, they lost.
They lost Texas. They lost Oklahoma. Iowa State.
Well, they haven't lost them yet.
Didn't Iowa State move to the Big 10?
No, Iowa State's still in the Big 12, but I mean they lost Texas A&M a couple of years ago.
They lost
moved to the
Nebraska.
SEC. Yep, they lost Nebraska to the Big 10. They lost Missouri. I think they lost Missouri to the SEC as well.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The Big 12 is starting to go by the way of the dodo. So, we will talk next week about the NFL COVID policy. We'll put that off to next week. We're at an hour and 2 minutes, and we still have 2 birthday shout-outs to give. So, Rich, do you have any personal shout-outs other than to yourself for your birthday this last week?
No. We go down Sunday.
Okay.
For my nephew's birthday party. It had to be postponed last week.
Pool
so it'll be a
collapse.
wiffle ball. Yeah, the pool collapse. It'll be a pool party and a wiffle ball tournament.
And then finally, got to give a shout out to my papa, my dad, Grandpa Joe, is turned 63. What year is it? It's 64. He turned 64 today.
Wow.
So, happy 64th birthday, Pops. We'll see you soon enough. And the final shout out of the week. This week marks the anniversary of Joe Perry getting shot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So happy Life Day to you, Joe. I don't know that we're going to make it back to do a Life Day celebration. But we'll do a Skype meeting where we can smoke cigars and drink beers and say that we're happy you're alive. So, and we'll give you a shout out on Facebook and stuff like that too. But other than that, I got nothing else. You got anything else?
Any comments on the Facebook
No
episode?
comments. No comments.
No comments.
But yeah, we are excited for this week. Folks, have a great weekend. Stay cool. Drink lots of water. Oh, we totally forgot about something today.
Okay.
Important for our Quad City viewers. I
Big
hope
Seven?
everybody had fun at the Big 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, shout out to all those that competed and did that. And with that, Rich, what's it time to do?
Let's go ahead and roll that outro, Mike.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.